You, as a historian, figured out that 300 years ago, pirates looking for treasure traveled between three rich islands. The names of these islands were Dnalcy, Pooh, and Adam. They stole from each island. Because of the economy and stuff, pirates had a specific pattern to which island they would go to get the most gold from their trip. By reading ancient scriptures, you figured out that they buried their treasure on the island that they were on after 3 trips. You also figured out the pattern of their island hopping. You have a feeling that the treasure is on Dnalcy Island, but your careful boss needs you to be sure. Is the treasure really on Dnalcy Island? First, we have to draw an accurate representation of the probabilities, like a tree graph. These numbers represent the chance of starting at Dnalcy, Pooh, or Adam. These numbers represent the chance of going to Dnalcy, Pooh, or Adam. Likewise, these numbers also represent the chance of going to Dnalcy, Pooh, or Adam. Now, to find the probability of the ship ending on Dnalcy, you have to figure out the chance of the tree, quote-unquote, ending at these places and then add those probabilities together, because these are literally every single way to get to Dnalcy. And when you add them together, you will get the total probability of getting to Dnalcy. Anyway, to find, let's say, this one, you have to multiply the probabilities of going from one island to the next. That basically means you have to multiply these together. This is what you get. And when you do that for all the other endings, and then you add them together, this is what you get. This is the chance that the treasure is on Dnalcy. Now I know that's cool and stuff, but the more trips that the pirate takes, the more and more complicated the math will get. This is a matrix. These represent numbers. These letters show the probability if the boat started on Dnalcy, Pooh, or Adam. These letters show the probabilities of the boat going to Dnalcy, Pooh, or Adam. For example, this will represent the chance of the ship staying on Dnalcy. This will show the chance of the ship going from Pooh to Adam, and this will show the chance of the ship going from Adam to Dnalcy. When we fill our matrix up with their corresponding values, it'll be an accurate representation of the pirate ship's travels, just like the tree diagram. To find the chance of the ship ending at each island after 2 trips, we have to square the matrix. Squaring a matrix is much more complicated than squaring numbers. You first have to multiply these columns by their color-coded rows. That way, you'll get the probabilities of the ship ending on Dnalcy when the ship started on Dnalcy, Pooh, and Adam. But since there are probabilities of the ship starting on each of those islands, you have to multiply them by their corresponding probabilities. Then, you get the probability that the treasure is on Dnalcy. Simple enough, right? I'm just kidding. But it'll make a lot more sense when I demonstrate it. I'm just going to show you how to find the chance of the ship ending on Dnalcy when the ship starts on Dnalcy, because the rest can be found the exact same way. For Dnalcy, you have to lay these into columns, like this. Then, you multiply them together. After that, you add them all up. When you do that for when the ship starts on Pooh and Adam, this is what you get. But you still have to multiply these by their corresponding starting values. When we add those all up, you get 0.232 or 23.2%, which is the chance that the treasure is on Dnalcy. That means the treasure is probably not on Dnalcy, but is likely to be on Adam. The best part about matrices are that a computer can calculate them. Just look up Matrix Calculator and click on the first one that shows up. You can calculate the chance of the ship ending on Dnalcy after 1,000 trips. Pretty cool, right? Well, let's just thank your boss for his carefulness.